Hi folks, how you doing? It's James, JT at the Movies, finally back with you for another video. And before we jump into what this video is about, which is my recent pickups from July and early August, you'll probably notice that I'm in a new location and giving you a little bit of a spoiler as to the now completed movie cave. So for anybody who might be new to the channel or coming across me for the first time, this is the basement of my house, and over the early summer we've had it converted into a usable room. We've had it tanked, waterproofed, all that good stuff. And there's vlogs on my channel that sort of show you that progress. There will be a tour video coming out at some point in the next week, 10 days or so, to show you the completed room. But I wanted to show you everything that I've picked up in July and, like I said, the sort of the first few days of August, because I've had a few deliveries, so I thought, well, I'll tack them into this video. So yeah, you're getting a little bit of a teaser, a little bit of a spoiler as to what the room looks like. But I've gone the whole hog with it, and I can't wait to talk about that more in the tour video. But that's not why we're here today. We're here to talk about what I've picked up in the month of July and the first 2 or 3 days of August. So as always, we shall start with some DVDs. Let me just grab the pile here. I'm still sort of getting used to the logistics of where everything's going to go and going to be. So the first one is actually one that I picked up just today. So I live in West Yorkshire, and I saw on Facebook there was an advert for a company called Dewsbury Film and Music Emporium, and they were a company that basically selling second-hand records, DVDs, Blu-rays, CDs, all that sort of stuff. And they were having their grand opening today. So me, my sister, and my little baby Alex went down to go and have a nosy while Laura had some sleep, and it was great. I tell you what, I wasn't sure what to expect. And we went in, there was a little sort of like shop room, if you like, and there was, there's some good stuff in there, but there was nothing sort of really that sort of blew me away. Anyway, the guy could sort of see that I was really into my movies and whatever else. And he says, well, if you're a movie collector, he says, come with me. Anyway, it was a whole warehouse full of second-hand stuff, personal collections that he bought off of people, new old stock that he was selling, and he sells it on an Amazon store under the same name, Dewsbury Film and Music Emporium. And they're going to open the place twice a week. So I got chatting, I've got his business card, and I'm going to go back at some point when I've got more time and basically just probably spend the day there and try and go through everything. And as well, he sort of said for like back catalogue titles as well, that if I just make a note of them and send him an email or a text, he'll hunt them down for me as well. So I thought that was really cool to have that pretty much on my doorstep. It's like 5 miles from my house. So yeah, hopefully that sort of becomes a fairly permanent fixture. And once I've maybe sort of got to know them a little bit better, I might see if they'll let me sort of do some filming and do a little bit of a vlog and show you around. But anyway, that's a complete sort of tangent we went on then. I picked this film up in there, and a few others that I'll show you in the vlog. And this one is Kenneth Branagh and Stanley Tucci in Conspiracy. I know nothing about this other than that obviously it's a sort of a war-based film, and obviously something to do with the Nazi Party. But it was the two chaps in it that really sort of sold me on wanting to watch this. It was only £1 as well. This one I picked up really just to add to my Indiana Jones and Harrison Ford collection. It is a DVD steelbook of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull for £1 from the same place today. I picked this one up in Morrison's while I was doing the weekly shop this week. Morrison's seems to be the only supermarket round our way that has a decent media selection. The local Asda did for a while, but I guess folk aren't buying it because it just seems to get smaller and smaller and smaller every week, which is a real shame. The Asda sort of live in the, Asda Home or whatever they're called, that they have a better selection, but the actual Asda doesn't. But Morrison's had this one, and that was May, December. I picked this one up in a charity shop in Whitby. We went out last week for a day to the seaside, and it's a film that I've been after I watched the Adam Sandler version of this story, and sort of, as I quite often do when I'm sort of watching a film, IMDb in it, sort of reading the trivia, reading the history, and realised that the Adam Sandler film, along with this film, Mean Machine, is a remake of the original Burt Reynolds film from the 80s. So yeah, look forward to watching that one quite soon. This one, it was the plot that basically intrigued me on it. Again, picked it up in Whitby. It's Harrison's Flowers. I've been wanting to see this one ever since I saw the trailers in the cinema. I didn't get a chance to get to the cinema to see it, as it was released quite late on in Laura's pregnancy, and she wasn't up to go in, and sort of wanted to be obviously supported and looked after at home, so we didn't really get out to the cinema as much as we would have liked. So it was a day one pickup for me. But I'll be honest, as little baby Alex sort of grows and understandably becomes more demanding, I've not actually had as much chance to utilise this room as I might have liked. But it will be on the pile to watch very soon, and it is Love Lies Bleeding. I really enjoyed this one. I did manage to rewatch this one. I saw it in the cinema. It's from the chaps that did the two most recent Scream movies. And this was a really fun horror comedy. I really enjoyed the ensemble cast. In particular, Catherine Newton, I think she's called, the blonde girl. She sort of has a really quite a funny turn in it. And I can't remember what the girl's name is that plays the title character of Abigail, but she's a great little actress as well. And then I also picked up Monkey Man on DVD. I got this when I was in London. I went into to FOP after we'd been to see Stevie Nicks. So that was a great concert. Great to see her off as well, because I believe it's the last time she's going to come over to the UK. Never say never, can you? She said that last time as well, and yet here she was again. But it was great to go and sort of see her off in style, if you like. And her and Fleetwood Mac are some of my favourite artists of all time, as anyone who's been on the channel for a while will know. So it was a great adventure. But of course, one can't go to London and not pop into FOP. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. So yeah, that's no, it's not all the DVDs. I tell a lie. I picked this one up also in the Film Emporium today. It was a £5, and I have absolutely no need for this whatsoever, but other than for collecting purposes. It's the Bond 50 DVD set. I nearly wanted a £5 for it. It's got the 22 films in there today, up to Quantum of Solace. And as folks know, I collect pretty much anything and everything James Bond and get any edition of it that I can. So for a £5, I was sort of like, I'm in an hour, and I'm like, do I want it? Do I need it? I'm never going to watch it. I've got the Blu-rays there, and I've got the individual Blu-rays behind you on a TV cabinet as well for when I watch them, because I do watch these films fairly regularly. And but yeah, I ended up buying it for collecting purposes, because of course I did. And if there's going to be any sort of group of people that appreciate that, it's going to be you guys in this community, because we all do similar things. So I've got one 4K to show you, and then a stack of Blu-rays, and no sort of boutique label Blu-rays this month. So I'll show you the 4K now and mix it up a little bit. It is the concluding part of Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths. Now, I would say this is the best part of the trilogy, and it was a satisfying conclusion. I also thought that it sort of wrapped it up really well and sort of set it up for the way that things are going to be run under the James Gunn sort of DC thing, because as I understand it going forward, DC animated and live action sort of projects are all going to have the same voice actors. So David Corensvet, that's going to be Superman, supposedly will be animated Superman as well, and whoever ends up becoming Batman will end up being animated Batman. At least is what they said that they're hoping to do. Whether or not that's going to be feasible in the long run, because obviously DC animated normally put 2 or 3 titles out a year. And I don't even know if these roles have been cast. But then there's also the Elseworlds banner, like they've just done with Batman Caped Crusader as well, which was great, and I'm going to do a video on that as well really soon. But yeah, this was great. It's a nice little steelbook. It completes a nice little set for me. I thought this one was the best of the 3, and it also had a really great little sort of moment in it where Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill got to be Batman and Joker one last time, obviously recorded just before his death as well. And so sort of given that that sort of sad, sort of untimely passing of Kevin, it was a nice send-off. So, we'll show you some Blu-rays now. The first one is a stack of Blu-rays that I got from Amazon Germany. I can't remember who, so I can't give you credit, I'm afraid, mate, but somebody in the Big Paulie Facebook group put on that Amazon Germany were having a bit of a clearance sale on some Blu-rays, and there were some things that I've been looking to upgrade for a while, so I figured since these were all pretty much a £5, I think a £5 and change each, that I would pick them up. The first one is Looney Tunes Back in Action. Now, I love this film. It got a load of flack and gets quite often negatively compared to Space Jam, but I think it holds up. I really enjoyed Brendan Fraser in this one, and I love Joe Alaskey's portrayal of Daffy and Bugs, and I'm a bit of a voice actor sort of nut. I like all that sort of behind the scenes stuff, so I really sort of take a bit of an interest in that, and I've always enjoyed his portrayal. The film's daft, it's a kid's film, I haven't seen it in years. It's got Timothy Dalton in it as well, playing Brendan Fraser's dad, who's basically just James Bond in this as well. So that's obviously a great addition as well. But I've had this on DVD for, I don't know, probably nearly 20 years, I would imagine. I bought an ex-rental DVD of this sort of probably around 2005. And one of the first sort of DVDs I bought, really. And, you know, it's a knackered old sort of thing. And it's, you know, over there in the collection sort of thing, and has been for years. But it's been one of those where I've been like, I must upgrade that. I must get it in HQ. But anyway, for a £5, I was happy to grab it. The next one to show you is one that I've been sort of sitting on for a few years, actually, because I probably watch this film once every 18 months or so, and the DVD's absolutely fine, and whenever I've looked at the Blu-ray to import it, it's always been a tenner or above, and I've thought, well, not really bothered for spending that much money when I'm happy with the DVD, but it was dropped down to, like I say, £5 and 5p or whatever it was in this sale, and it's Arnie in the Sixth Day. The next two I'll show together. We've got Space Cowboys and Firefox. So I'm a really big Clint Eastwood fan. Just actually at the side of me is every film that he's ever been in DVD. For folks in the UK, you'll probably remember about 15, maybe 20 years ago, there was a magazine company that basically put out a magazine and a sort of a film every week for however many, you know, sort of weeks and months it was, with every film in Clint Eastwood's filmography released up to that point. And I bought that set sort of completed off somebody off Facebook Marketplace a few years ago. If you dig back on the channel, there's a video showing through it. But there's some of them that are, you know, not the greatest quality of DVD sort of thing, and, you know, they've sort of got the 4:3 thing going on and whatever else. And so, you know, I've been slowly upgrading the ones that are, you know, I really like. So Firefox is my favourite Clint Eastwood movie. Really, really enjoy the sort of the story and the whole Cold War espionage sort of agent behind enemy lines. And he's a reluctant agent sort of brought back, isn't he, for one last job in that one. And then I really enjoy Clint Eastwood and Tommy Lee Jones and, well, all four of the main guys in this, Donald Sutherland and James Garner as well, sort of doing aging sort of, you know, Air Force pilots being brought back to repair a satellite in space and being sort of trained up as astronauts sort of thing. And it's the whole sort of, they think that they're going to be sort of initially sort of training up the new guys to go, but then they realise that they're the only guys for the job, and it's the will they let them go, won't they let them go, and of course they go. But yeah, really, really, I absolutely love that film, just great popcorn fun. And then the last one to show you from the Amazon Germany haul is one of my favourite sort of little thrillers of the late 2000s. And it's a film I don't believe is widely available on Blu-ray over here. If it is, I think it's out of print. And it's a reimagining of the story that Rear Window's based on, but not a direct remake of that film. And it's Shia LaBeouf and David Morse in Disturbia. He's on house arrest after he has a fight with his teacher at school, ends up breaking his teacher's nose, after the teacher says something unsavoury about his dead dad, so the judge cuts him a break and puts him on house arrest for the summer. He starts watching The Neighbours and realises that his next door neighbour is a killer. It's great. I absolutely love this film. I think it's just superb. Again, one that I come to quite regularly, and one that I've been after upgrading for a while, but just haven't come across the Blu-ray. So when I saw that this was in the sale, it was actually this one in the post on Facebook that sort of made me go, right, I'm off to check that out. And then the others were just a happy little bonus. So the next ones to show you are all just regular UK releases. This one arrived in the post on Saturday, so actually as of recording this, but probably not by the time you see it, this isn't actually available in shops yet, but it's Bill Skarsgård in Boy Kills World. The trailer for this looked hilarious. H. John Benjamin is the sort of the narrator of it, because Bill Skarsgård's character is a mute, and for anybody who doesn't know, H. John Benjamin is the voice of Bob's Burgers, and characters on Family Guy and Archer and sort of, you know, a lot of those sort of late night adult cartoons sort of thing. He's a regular staple in them, and he's hilarious. So I'm really looking forward to checking this one out soon. Laura's really interested in it as well, because she's got a bit of a thing for Mr. Skarsgård. This next film I absolutely loved in the cinema, and fair warning to anybody who buys this, HMV sent me an email to let me know that the second disc in the set, which contains the extended unrated cut of the film, is actually mistakenly a 4K disc, whereas the regular disc is Blu-ray. And there's going to be I'm assuming you'll have been emailed the same as I've been emailed to say, you know, if you want to get the replacement disc, here's how you sort of do that. But anyway, it's The Fall Guy. This is one of my favourite films of this year. I went into this not realising that it was a reimagining of the 80s TV show, and it was only sort of at the end of the film where they do a bit of a sting to, you know, sort of, you know, let you know that it's connected to that sort of thing, that I realised it was a remake. I was a little bit gutted when I found out that it was a remake, because I thought, oh great, we've got an original property, you know, but no, it's not. It's another franchise thing. But I really enjoyed it. I thought that the two lead characters there, Gosling and Blunt, were absolutely hilarious and on point. And the other sort of actors in it, Hannah Waddingham and Aaron Taylor-Johnson, were really great as well. It's just a fun action comedy, and it's a film I can see myself rewatching quite a lot. And then the last one to show you, I enjoyed this a hell of a lot more. It was actually the first film I watched in this room before we got a TV. I've got a little projector that's not great, but it does. So we watched that down here, did me and Laura, just to sort of christen the room. In the cinema, I came out of it feeling a bit like, what the hell did I just watch? And wasn't really sure where to feel about it, but going into it knowing exactly where all the, you know, sort of the plot points and the story beats were going to go, I was able to sort of sit back and sort of digest it a little bit more, and actually had a much better time with the film the second time around. And you know, actually just sort of echoing my comments from before, it's actually really nice to see an original piece of cinema. And I think this will go down as a bit of a classic, you know, and it is Alex Garland's Civil War. Really great stuff, really great stuff. Definitely check it out. And then the last two to show you for this video are a couple of steelbooks that I picked up at the Emporium today. They wanted £3 a piece for these. They're both films that I've got, but both of them on DVD, so I figured it'd be great to upgrade them. And if nothing else, it's great for the artwork. So the first one is Gone with the Wind. Look at that for a steelbook. How great is that? That's, yeah, just all shimmery and metallic and lovely and in great nick, and the discs are great, and you've got the fantastic artwork on the back there with Clark Gable. That's just, yeah, absolutely, just bob on. And then the other one was the absolute classic. I nearly dropped the steelbook on the floor then, but I'm leaving it in for you. Yeah, the absolute classic film noir, really, along with Casablanca, for me, the one that sort of sets the level. And it's Humphrey Bogart in The Maltese Falcon. And again, just look at that artwork. And again, the art on the back and, you know, the sides and whatever else. And then inside, it's got the art that's ported onto the HMV Premium Edition, actually, which is what I've got, actually, not the DVD of this. But yeah, just absolutely fantastic. For £3, I couldn't leave that there. It's just a great one to have in the collection. And again, pristine condition. So that is everything that I've picked up on DVD, Blu-ray and 4K in the month of July 2024. And like I say, just the first couple of days of August, most of it coming this month from Amazon. Not as big a haul as I would normally have, but I've spent most of the month either looking after baby or getting this room something like. And I really have spent an awful lot of time down here sort of getting all the, you know, the films and the DVDs and the Blu-rays and whatever else organised and putting everything else away. And as well as doing down here, I'll give you a little bit of a boring update about sort of regular life. We decided while we were having this room done, we might as well decorate the rest of the house while we were at it and sort of get all the chaos over and done with. So we've done baby's nursery, which was the old movie room. We've recarpeted the whole house. We've redecorated the living room and the kitchen as well. And literally just yesterday, we finished everything, which is why I've been able to come down here and take sort of 5 minutes to make this video for you. And I've really enjoyed sort of christening the new movie room as a bit of a studio. So thank you very much for watching, as always. It's a pleasure to get back to this for you, and it's a pleasure to make these videos. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video. Leave your comments down below with any thoughts that you've got on the films and all the usual bits and bobs. I really do enjoy reading those comments. I'm sorry I've not been able to reply as frequently as I have been, you know, sort of in the past, but obviously, as you can appreciate from what I've just said, life's very busy at the moment, and I'll do my best. I'll always make sure that I acknowledge them with a little thumbs up and a love heart, though, so that you know that I've read them, and where I can respond and have a natter to you, I will. If you're coming across me in the channel for the first time, hi, nice to meet you. Please think about subscribing. It means the world to me, and of course helps this channel to grow as well, and means that I get to see you again and know you over future videos. Above all else, take care of yourselves, and I will see you again really soon for my next video. Bye for now.